In this presentation, we will explain what's meant by the term formulations. So what is formulations? A formulation is a mixture. So the first point that you have to know is that a formulation is a mixture and not a pure substance. This mixture has been designed to produce a useful product. So we will prepare this mixture because we want to have a useful product at the end. Actually, many of the products that we consume are made up of complex mixtures which are formulations. For example, medicinal drugs. So drugs are formulations. They will often only contain between 5 and 10% of the active drug. So if you read the labels on a drug, you will find that it only contains around 5 to 10% of the active drug. The active drug is the specific compound that affects the body to relieve symptoms or cure an illness. So what about the rest of the substances inside this drug? For example, if you are taking a drug in the tablet form, they can also contain some colorants, some smooth coatings to aid the swallowing, fillers, and other compounds to aid their dissolving at the most effective place in the digestive tract. So drugs that we use aren't pure substances. Actually, they are formulations. They contain only about 5 to 10% of the active drug which will cure the illness, whereas the other substances may be some colorants, some smooth coatings, fillers, and other compounds to aid the dissolving of the drug. Another example of formulations is paints. So paints are also common formulations, and in general they contain a pigment to provide the color of the paint, a binder to help the paint attach itself to an object and to form a protective film when dry, and finally we have a solvent. The solvent will help the pigment and binder spread well during painting by thinning them out. So inside paint, we have the pigment, which will provide the color, the binder, which will help the paint attach itself to an object, let's say a wall, and finally we have a solvent. Washing up liquids are also formulations, and they generally contain a surfactant, which is the actual detergent which removes the grease. It contains also water to thin out the mixture so it can squirt more easily from the bottle, a coloring and fragrance additives, and a rinse agent to help water drain off crockery. Other examples of formulations are fuels, alloys, and fertilizers. So all of these are examples of products that we consume, and actually they are not pure substances. They are formulations. So they are mixtures that are designed to produce a useful product.